Hey, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. So we're out here doing the septic system for Dustin and Tiana, and I just got back. I had to drive to Northern California, pick up my daughter and bring her back home from college for the holidays. So the guys got the tank installed. They're now digging the line right here. You can see them behind me. They're digging the line coming up the driveway for the tight line coming out of the house, for the waste line, and for the electrical conduit that's going to go in here. You can see this trench right here. We're digging this about 3 feet deep. They're going down around the corner, and what we want to do is get this driveway dug up, and we're dumping the dirt out of the excavator into the tractor bucket and dumping it out of the way so cars can come up and down if they need to. But you can see right here, we have it dug all the way right here going to the house. There's where it goes under the sidewalk to the house. Okay, so the electrical line's going to come right here. It's this 3-inch conduit that you see laying right here on the ground. Okay, so we have this 3-inch conduit that's going to go in here. It's going to go right over here. You can see the waste line right here coming out of the house. Here's the waste line coming out of the house, right? So the waste line comes out of the house, turns right here, and goes right over there underneath the car is where the tank is underneath the driveway. But we're going to run these lines straight out right here. The electrical conduit will go right here and stub up in this corner, and then we're going to run power in through the garage attic. Then the power will come around right over here. So the power will come out right here. Right here's the power meter, okay? So we'll come out of the meter here. We'll change out this meter from a 200 amp to a 400 amp. We'll take that whole panel out, make a 400 amp panel, run the lines up through this garage attic. That's an attic that's up there in the garage. It will come over here, come down the side right over here. Inside, we'll stub it out in the garage. Inside the garage, bring it out right here, and it will go under the 3-inch conduit. Go down here to a pull box. These are going to be fairly large conductors inside this conduit, so we'll put a pull box right here on the corner of the driveway. That way we can pull the line all the way down. It has to go 280 feet down around the corner. So the plan today is to get this trench along the driveway, get this all excavated, and get the dirt cleaned up so cars can get up and down the driveway. We want to get all of our lines placed. Probably won't place those today, probably do that tomorrow because we have a lot to do. You can see Mikey's here digging now. He's going to go down around the corner right here. They're loading dirt in the tractor bucket right here and dumping it up at the top so it's not in the way. Good job, Mikey. He's going to come down right here around the corner. Then he's going to come across the road right here, across the driveway where we have it saw cut. So we already have the tank in. I wasn't able to cover that because I was driving 800 miles to go get my daughter. But we have the tank installed right here. This is what the septic tank looks like. You recall we dug this hole 7.5 feet deep. Okay, so here's the tank. This is a 1,200 gallon tank. These are our riser lids right here. There's the tank, right? So this is what this looks like. These are the proper size riser lids, okay? Up above, where you saw Tiana had her car parked, their tank is underneath the driveway there, and there are no riser lids. So you can't even really get to that tank to clean it out. We put a camera down it to inspect it when we found out that the whole system was no good. That's why we're abandoning that system and putting in a new system. But this is the 1,200 gallon tank. These are the riser lids, okay? You can see right here, this is the waste line that comes out, right? Comes out of the tank right here and goes all the way down the hill. Goes all the way down. There's a clean out right there. Here's a clean out right here. We're going to put a clean out every 100 feet. We'll put a clean out. Even though the house is way up there, this whole system is roughly about 500 feet to the infiltrators from the house. You can see down there below, Mikey has already installed all the infiltrators and all that. It goes right down to that, and I'll go down and cover that right now. So the plan for today is to continue forward, getting this system all tied in up to the house so we can get these trenches backfilled, get this thing inspected. We can be done with this, and then we can move on and hopefully jump right into grading for Dustin's new garage. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're new here, join the channel. If you're not new here, join the channel. Follow us along, and hopefully you can learn something by watching these projects that will help you with your project. Thanks for watching. Okay, you've heard me talk about infiltrators before. Infiltrators go down, they actually are the leach field. They're like a half round pipe system that we hook together, and they have caps on the end. You probably saw it on the 4,000 square foot house going up in wine country that we're building. We put in the infiltrators. They have a cap that goes on the end, and then your lines come from the distribution box and they come into the top of that cap. So here's what the infiltrators look like. You know, these are just laying on the ground, right? They're individual pieces. These are 3 foot by 3 foot diameter. So we'll hook all these together, and then here's the cap right here. So this cap goes over the end, and then we bust this out, and that's where the lines come from the infiltrators and come into the top of the the line comes into the cap, it comes into the top of the infiltrators. So that's what that looks like. This all hooked together, right? Let me roll these up and see what they look like. There's what the top of them looks like. You saw it in a previous video. So I'll cover that when we install it, but really, infiltrators, none of this stuff is difficult, okay? A lot of people think a septic system, think, oh my gosh, it's gonna be super difficult. This is not difficult. So we'll cover this during the installation, but that's what infiltrators look like. Okay, one more thing I wanted to cover about the septic tank that we put here. You can see the driveway coming up right here. The driveway comes up from down on the main road down there, comes up, comes through the gate. There's a really steep corner right here, a really sharp corner. Not steep, sharp. Really sharp corner right here. Sometimes cars coming up the driveway and you're coming down the driveway, you almost hit head on. You can't see each other. And this driveway is only wide enough for one car. So what we're gonna do, and what we've already done, I upgraded this tank to a traffic rated tank. Instead of just putting a 1,200 gallon concrete tank in here, I put a 1,200 gallon traffic rated tank. And we are going to flatten out this area where the tank is and make a pullover. So if Dustin and Tiana are coming down, or their neighbors are coming up or down, or FedEx or whoever is coming up or down, doesn't matter who, somebody can pull over right on top of this tank. So we put a pullover spot right here. You can see right here. Here's this nice flat area that we created. We have the tank right here. This is a traffic rated tank. They can pull over and let somebody go by. We're also gonna take this excavator while we have our big equipment here. We'll take this excavator. I'm gonna have Mikey shave this hill down so they can actually see around the corner. So we'll shave this whole entire hill down right here. You know, I'll walk down here and show you how sharp this corner is, because someone's almost hit me head on in my truck when I'm coming down, and I'm not 100% in love with that. So here's the corner right here. You can see how sharp it is. We're gonna shave this hill down so at least people can see if there's a big truck coming up or not. But if you walk up here, look how sharp this corner is. They can pull over right here. Somebody can pull over. We'll yank this big pipe. Looked like they might have had a chain across here years ago. We'll yank that thing out of the ground. Somebody can pull over right on top of the tank and let the car go by. But that's thinking ahead, okay? We always try to look at some way of improving this whole situation. Any kind of project we're building, we are always looking for ways to improve the building project. And this is one way we're going to improve this for Dustin and Tiana. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm down here at the bottom of the hill. I just wanted to come down and show you the infiltrators. We talked about the infiltrators in a previous video. You saw them when they were laying up above by where we installed the tank. They're just a half round pipe that goes in the ground. They have a cap that goes over the end, and then we run our waste line into the top of that cap so it feeds the wastewater into the infiltrators. The important part about laying infiltrators and all this, like I said before, this is not a complicated system. The important thing is your infiltrators have to be perfectly level. So we use a laser and we install these in the ground and we make sure they're perfectly level. The second important thing is when the tight line comes down and goes into the distribution box, it then comes out of the distribution box and feeds each of the infiltrators. You can see right here, here's the infiltrator. I talked about it before. We just laid these, we dug a flat trench here. We laid these flat on the ground. There's gonna be 3.5 to 4 feet of coverage over these. And here's the tight line going into the cap. I showed you the cap before. The tight line goes right into the cap. You can see it over here. Here's the second one. So the tight line goes right into the cap, okay? And then wastewater comes out, and the wastewater goes inside this pipe, this half round pipe, all the way down, right? We have clean outs, goes all the way down, and it seeps into the earth, okay? Here you go right here. We only have 2 infiltrators down here, 1 and 2. These are 35 feet long, 37 feet long. There's our tight line coming down the hill right there. It goes up to the top. Mikey's digging up there right now. There's the house. The tight line comes down, goes into this distribution box, and then evenly distributes the wastewater into the infiltrators. I'll take this lid off so you can see. There it is, okay? We use buckets of water, right? We fill this thing up, and we want to make sure, you always want to make sure that when the wastewater comes in here, it fills up and goes into each waste line evenly. Okay, so what happens is we set this thing perfectly level. We see even wastewater distribution. Then we will cement this. You can see we have cement here already. See the cement right here? Here's cement right here. We cemented this box, so when we cover it up, it doesn't move around. We dug a big deep hole, poured concrete, cemented this thing in nice and level, and that's it. That's your distribution box. That's how the system works, okay? So you have your tight line coming down. You have your tight line coming down the hill. Here's another clean out. Every 100 feet we put a clean out in case there's ever a clog of any kind. All that's coming down waste lines, just so you know, is the gray water, okay? Enzymes work inside the tank. I don't want to get into a whole history lesson on how tanks work, but enzymes build up inside a tank, break everything down, causes gray water. The distribution comes out, comes down the waste line, seeps into the earth down here in the infiltrators. But you have to have clean outs, okay? We're just putting them every 100 feet because this is a very long system. But there it is. Main line coming out of the tank. Distribution box distributes the gray water evenly into our infiltrators, as you see right here. There they are, nice and flat, nice and level. That way everything seeps in evenly. One doesn't get more than the other. Sometimes we'll have 4 or 5 or 6 of these lines, depending on the system, depending on the size of the house. Your septic tank size is based on the amount of bedrooms you have. Okay, for this particular house, okay, that's what size tank we needed, 1,200 gallons. So, what's gonna happen next, I mentioned this to you before, we're gonna be building the garage around the corner, okay? So, right here it goes up around the corner to where we're gonna be building the garage. Here's your waste lines, your infiltrators for the house. We had to leave room for expansion. In case those ever fail in the future, we can dig 2 more right here. However, we have another infiltrator that needs to go in because when we build this garage, it's getting a bathroom. We're gonna be putting a 750 gallon tank just for the garage. It will be up there around the corner, okay? We will put another infiltrator right here on the ground where you see these stakes. We'll put another infiltrator right here. That will be for the tank for the garage. Those are for the tank from the main house. So that's it. That's what's happening out here today. So I got back, I left Northern California yesterday about 6 a.m. I got back last night about 2:30 in the morning because we ran into some problems, my daughter and I, with her car coming back. But we're back out here at it. Hit the subscribe button, join the channel, follow us along as we build Dustin's dream garage. That's coming up real soon. Hopefully we're going to get into grading here right at the beginning of January. Thanks for watching.